Can't capture this. It wasn't pretty. Another loss for the Jags. Fell to the Eagles 24-10 in their first preseason game at the bank. Monday morning quarterbacking with Mark Brunell right now. See, remember in the Wizard of Oz, Dorothy clicked her heels 3 times. No place like home, no place like home, no place like home. 3 times.
Yep.
It's only preseason, it's only preseason, it's only preseason.
There's no place like regular season, and we cannot get there soon enough. I'm sorry. That was painful watching last night. Some bright moments. Gardner Minshew looked pretty good.
Well, he looked better than game 1.
Absolutely. Much improved. I think he's good enough to be the backup quarterback. He takes care of the ball for the most part, made some plays. Just to see that improvement from the first preseason game to the second preseason game. But listen, in preseason, I understand when that 4th preseason game, the starters are going to sit, they're getting ready for regular season, want to stay healthy. We're going to have 3 preseason games this year where we're not going to see any starters. We've already seen two of them. The next one will be the last preseason game. So I don't think I agree with that, Bruce. I just don't think that you can replicate a game situation on the practice field. And so it's Doug Marrone's decision, of course, and he's going to stick with it. Wants to keep his guys healthy, but I think that comes at a risk.
Yeah, let me back up, because I want to get to that in a second.
Okay.
The offensive line, they didn't protect Minshew. If this was in your playing days, wouldn't you be worried if you were Nick Foles?
Yeah, I would be concerned. Again, that you didn't see the starters last night. So typically in a preseason game, when you see the backup offensive line, they're not going to look as solid. Nick Foles does a good job of getting rid of the ball. He understands the importance of making sure the guys know who they're blocking. He's a smart football player, and their number one job is to protect the quarterback. That remains to be seen. They have to stay healthy. Didn't do that last year. I'm not so concerned about the offensive line, Bruce, as I am about the supporting cast around Nick Foles. That's where my concern is. But we'll see. But the problem is we haven't seen him. They haven't been in a game-type situation. They won't until next week. So there's still a lot of questions to be answered.
Let me talk about a bright spot. Trey McBride. He showed up.
Yes. Yeah, Trey McBride. There are some bright spots in preseason. And if there is any silver lining to not having the starters play, it's seeing the backup players get some action, to see who's ready, to develop that depth. But I keep going back to it, though. But I do have some concerns about not having the starters in there very much because, listen, the regular season is right around the corner. You have to be out there in a game-type atmosphere. I heard a player last night say, we're taking game reps on the practice field. Bruce, that makes no sense to me. Game reps on the practice field.
You've got to be in a real-life situation.
Absolutely. Listen, on the practice field, there is no tackling. It's different. There's a different feel during the game, and my hope is that the starters get a fair amount of time in the next preseason game.
Do we see it against Miami, if you were a betting man?
Yeah, we'll see. They have to get out there, don't they? They can't go a whole preseason without being on the field at all. I think we'll see him at least a half, maybe into the 3rd quarter. That's my hope.
All right. That said, when we see the starters play, if we see the starters play against Miami next week, what do you expect?
It's hard to say. Preseason games are tough. I expect them to do well. I expect Nick Foles to throw some completions, move the ball. And I don't know if I expect this or I just hope for this. We're going to have a good defense. Now, are we going to be a top 5 defense? Too early to tell. I think our offense will be pretty good. We have to stay healthy. Young receivers have to step up. The veteran guys have to stay on the field and lead that young group. A lot of ifs going into this season. Listen, Bruce, it could be a really good season. This could be a playoff team without a doubt. But it could also be a team that wins 6 games, 7 games, maybe 8 games. Don't know. I know one thing. It's going to be exciting, and I know I cannot wait for this regular season to get going.
Look, they've got a leader in Nick Foles.
They absolutely do.
But the big question which you raised last week and you raised today is, does Nick Foles have the supporting cast around him? I guess we have to wait and see.
Wait and see.
Don't forget, another season of the Mark Brunell Show also kicks off Monday night. Join Mark, Cole, and Eden at Sneakers Sports Grill in Jacksonville Beach. If you can't make it out there, you can catch all the fun Monday night at 7 on the CW. And by the way, if you're up in Fernandina Beach tonight, Mark's Episcopal team takes on Fernandina Beach.
Go Eagles.
Episcopal. Go Eagles. Good luck out there tonight. We'll be right back.
Thank you for that, by the way.
You betcha.